Hey guys, welcome to this video. If you clicked on this, most likely you are a Gamecocks fan. And if you are a Gamecocks fan, you most likely just watched South Carolina lose to Clemson for the 6th time in a row. And our season's over. We did not get 6 wins. We didn't make a bowl game. It's a tough season, tough season. And I'm just going to go through in this video, just going through a recap of our whole season and what's next to come for this team. It's tough. So overall, disappointing season. We finished 4-8 with wins over Kentucky, Charleston Southern, Vanderbilt, and of course Georgia, our big win. It was this by far for me was the toughest season ever to be a fan for me. We had that Georgia win. There was so much momentum building up at the beginning of that Florida game too, and then just to see it crash just after that Georgia game, only winning one game after that, that was tough to watch. Is just not good. So obviously we had a tough schedule. We had to play Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Florida, teams like that. But even the teams that we lost to, we could have beat Missouri, could have beat Tennessee, we could have beat App State, we could have beat North Carolina. There were just a bunch of games that we were sloppy, and it just didn't click for us. Some things that really stood out to me this year, why our team wasn't playing so well: offensive identity. Obviously, we had a lot of injuries. When our wide receivers were good, obviously Edwards, in my opinion, greatest wide receiver in South Carolina history, and I'm a huge Deebo Samuel fan, but just seeing the stuff Edwards has done, he's the number one, but he had some injuries. He was decent this year. He's still, in my mind, he's still a really good number 2 guy, but still hasn't taken that step, especially those games that Edwards were out, to put himself as he can be a top wide receiver, the number 1 guy. And running the ball, when we could run the ball, you saw in that Georgia game when we had Dowdle and Feaster going, we could have played with anyone. It was just not getting that running game going. I think Dowdle and Feaster this year were 2 great running backs. So I think it was just sometimes play calling, sometimes our line just couldn't block properly. But when we got our run game going, which we didn't often, we would win games. Secondary was very disappointing for me this year. I was huge on J.C. Horn this year. I thought he would be amazing. McQuamu did improve, but just at the end, getting towards the end, there were so many third downs and stuff that just the coverage was so weak, and you just see there was wide open field just for the other team's receivers to just get the ball and get the first down. It's what are we doing right now? We have 3rd and long, and you just gave up. It's 3rd and 14, and you just gave up an easy out route to the our sideline because no one was over there. We're all in the same spot. Spread the field. Just our secondary a lot of the times looked lost, and that was another part, especially in this Clemson game. There was a couple of 3rd and longs. They just got to Ross or whatever and picked up the first down. We lost to Clemson for the 6th time. Obviously, I just mentioned that it was not a good game. The beginning was exciting. We stopped them on the goal line on the 4th down, but Helinski comes up, throws a pick in the first drive, and just nothing from there. There was really nothing to get excited about except maybe one offensive drive. And in my mind, looking back on the season, the one play that turned it all around was a 4th down and 3 against Florida. As you know, that was a close game. We were up 20-17 at this time. I think it was the late 3rd quarter. They go for 4th and 3. Trask is scrambling out. No one on our defensive line is able to get him. And he just literally light tosses it 3 yards to a receiver. R.J. Roderick was standing right there and just didn't do anything, just let him catch the ball. Now I'm not blaming this whole season or play on Roderick. There's a lot of stuff our other people could have done in that play. Our D-line had to get finished. They got to finish that play. They can't let Trask scramble out like that and make a uncontested throw like that. But just that play from there on, following that play, Florida goes, they throw a touchdown, and then after that I think Helinski fumbles it, and Florida gets another touchdown, and from there on, the game's over. We could have beat Florida, we didn't. Then we go on, we lose to Tennessee, we beat Vanderbilt, we lose to App State, we get killed by Texas A&M. that was the worst game for me to watch by far. Texas A&M, that game was. I can't even think of one good thing that happened in that game other than Joseph Charlton with the little behind the back move and getting the first down. Like, other than that, that game was not fun to watch at all. Now, let's stop looking on the bad side of everything and let's try to look at the upside of a 4-8 season. We snapped the Kentucky streak. We finally beat them. That was a good, fun game to watch. Beating Georgia in double overtime, of course, that's a game that I definitely will be thinking about and all Gamecocks fans will remember for the rest of their lives. When Rodrigo sailed that kick and missed it, that was just a great moment for all Gamecocks fans, and I thought our season was going to turn around at that point. Brian Edwards, the one-handed catch versus Tennessee, that was one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. And two things, Javon, he's looking like he's going to be a top 15, maybe top 10 pick in the NFL draft. If that's something that, as Gamecocks fans, you're proud of when guys get drafted first round or second round, I really enjoy that. I really loved watching the draft to see where our South Carolina guys get drafted. And Brian's still a top 10 receiver in college football. He's still going to go like, there's a very slight chance first round. He's looking more at second or third round, but he could become a very good wide receiver in this league. And you've seen how Debo's done on the 49ers lately. Like, he had a couple of 100-yard games, and he just scored a touchdown last week. He's doing really well. Now, just looking on to next season, as Ryan Tanner said, Muschamp is staying, and it's probably not going to change. He's probably going to be our coach next year. We lose Kinlaw, Edwards, Brunson, Wanham, Dowdle, Feaster, Staley, Hutcherson, Charlton, Kobe Smith, all those guys. That's our D-line, a ton of guys gone, our number one receiver, our number one linebacker, and our main two running backs this season, all gone. So we're going to have a lot of rebuilding to do. We're just going to have a young team next year, and we've really got to build on that. But we do get Marshawn Lloyd. I'm so excited for Marshawn Lloyd to come. We haven't pulled up, like, from recruiting-wise, a really good high school running back, a guy who's been ranked highly coming in, and I'm so excited for Marshawn Lloyd to come. He's been tearing it up in high school. I just recently watched his highlight tape at DeMatha. He's been doing great. We're bringing in Doughty, so even if Helinski, which I think Helinski will turn around next year, but even if he doesn't, we still have Doughty to come in. And Dak Joyner, like, he's still a really good player. He could still be an amazing quarterback for us if he gets the opportunities to. We have Kaba, Huntley, Rico Powers, Tonka Hemingway, and Winman coming in. We're going to have a decent team. Our schedule, I say it's getting a bit easier. We do go to Death Valley, I know that. But we don't play Alabama. We don't play North Carolina next season, even though I'm not that scared of them. It's just like we don't play them. Like, we don't get a Power 5 team again, other than Clemson in our non-conference, I'm pretty sure. Other than that, just next season, there's some things we need to improve on. And before I want to get on that, I forgot about this. There's still one recruit that's up in the air, Jordan Birch. I have no clue what's going on. I don't know. After this game, I can see if he's not coming to South Carolina, but I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that something in him is just like, I'm from Columbia, I see this program struggling, and I just want to be the guy to come and turn this whole thing around. So if we could get Jordan Birch to come, that would make our program a lot better. Like, you know what happened? He's the number 2 recruit right now, but when we got the number 1 recruit, I don't know if you guys have heard of him. His name's like Jadeveon Clowney or something. Yeah, he kind of turned our whole program around. And if we had won that game in 2013 against Tennessee, we probably could have made the national championship. Clowney was just a record. He was like, our whole team got better at that point. I know we had a decent season in 2010 before he came, but like after when he came, just lights out Clowney. So if Birch could be like Clowney and we pull him off, our team's going to get a lot better. So for next season, one thing, I kind of mentioned it already, Shai needs to step up. Shai really needs to be that number 1 guy. He's got to prove to everyone that, and Helinski especially, that he can catch every ball like Edwards. There are some that Helinski would just fire up like especially one I'm thinking about, the flea flicker, first play of the game against Florida. The Helinski, like, it was a nice lob throw. Brian Edwards just goes up with one hand and does something weird like this and pulls that down. It was just a crazy catch. And Edwards his whole career has made crazy catches. Shai's just got to be that reliable guy, third down guy, and a guy that you could go deep with and know that he maybe not come down with the ball, but at least doesn't let the receiver or the defender intercept it. So if Shai can be that guy, we're going to be successful next season. Helinski's just got to get more accurate and get better chemistry with the receivers. Like you saw in that App State game, when we had a lot of guys injured, and when Edwards was on the sidelines and we had like our walk-ons on and stuff, Helinski was just getting frustrated because he didn't really have that chemistry. He hadn't played with them that much. So he's got to really build it with all wide receivers. Like he's going to have Shai or Trey, Josh Fan. Those are going to be his main three. And he's just got to, even with the guys like lower than them, because you never know. Us Gamecocks, we have injuries all the time. Every season, someone gets injured, a main player gets injured. So everyone just has to be in it. And our secondary needs to improve. More importantly, our corners, Mukwamu and Horn. Now, Mukwamu did improve this season, obviously having 3 interceptions versus Georgia. Horn was a bit of a letdown for me this season. I was so high on Horn. And there were just some plays this season where I was just like, you just gotta stay on him. But I'm still high on him. He's young. They're both young. They're both gonna get better. Next year, they're gonna come back. And our defense, especially next year, will be young. Lots of guys gone, and we're just going to have to work with it. I think Zach Pickens is going to make a big improvement from this year. We didn't really see him that much. He didn't really make any big plays, but that's because we had Javon Kinlaw and DJ Wonnum always getting in there. Aaron Sterling, guys like that. So if I have any message to Gamecocks fans, this season was rough. Next season might be rough, but you just got to stay hopeful. You just got to be like, there will be a day where we will beat Clemson. There will be a day where we win the SEC East. There will be a day when we win the SEC. And there will be a day when we make the playoff. And there will be a day when we win the national championship. Just stay hopeful. We can do it. Gamecock Nation. Spurs up. Just stay hopeful. That's all I can say. Thanks for watching this video. And as always, go Gamecocks.